Hello, and welcome to the Week 2 version of the Monster Pod here on thelines.com. Steven Anders, Matt Brown, joined this week by Connor Allen of 4 for 4. You got to go check out their great work over there. Los Angeles Rams and the Arizona Cardinals. This is point and a half. Cardinals at home. Of course, this has flipped from the Rams being a slight favorite. 47.5 to 48 is your total. Connor, this just comes down to how much can a team take, right? I mean, you lose Puka Nacua, you lose several starting offensive linemen, you have other ones questionable this week. Now it looks like there's even stuff going on in the defense. Like, this Rams team through week 1, by far the worst injury situation in the league, and I just don't know how much is too much. And I don't know. I'm very tempted on the Cardinals because Matthew Stafford's a wizard, but he's going to be trying to be a wizard with 3 backup offensive linemen in there and missing one of his top receivers and things like that. I just don't know. I wonder if the stress test is just too much here.
Yeah, it's really interesting because if you look at last season when the Rams played the Cardinals, they ran the ball 34 and 28 times in 2 like really dominant wins. But I don't know if they have enough juice up front to like do that. And so I'm really curious to see like what they come out with, because if they come out and they're run heavy and they're running the ball well, I mean, they're going to win. Like, that's just like, in my opinion. But if they're not, things become very interesting. Like, are they just going to pass the ball 40 times to Cooper Kupp and Tyler Johnson and Demarcus Robinson? Like, how long can that keep up? Like, I'm not really sure. Their defense, I think, is, massively overrated still. Like, I think Aaron Donald made the rest of the unit look better than it was last year. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Arizona's offense, play really well here as well. Maybe Marvin Harrison Jr. gets on track. I don't want to throw in the towel yet on him. He didn't look good. He was running slow. He played slow, but I mean, he's a rookie, week 1, you never know. I don't want to give up yet. He didn't look good though. So for me, it's kind of like a stay away. I think the Rams were at 2, so I did tease them at 1 point up to like 8. So that was, I think fine. But I don't feel as good about it at this point, to be honest, heading into Saturday.
Yeah, Steven, if we look at this Rams team, we talk about cluster injuries all the time. And, whenever you have them in certain units, maybe it can be masked a little bit better than in others. Certainly you don't want them on the defensive side, but maybe you can run schemes different ways and stuff. But like, offensive line is just tough, right? I mean, like, you always hear these offensive linemen all the time about continuity and being out there together and understanding everyone's tendencies. And we need time to gel, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And like, you can't do that when they're not out there, and specifically when there's 3 different guys that are going to be playing backup. So, I don't know. Maybe I look at some weird like sack props or something or whatever. Like, even though the Cardinals are terrible on defense, it's like, this seems like the opportunity if there ever was an opportunity. What are you looking at here in this one?
Matt, you told me last week when you give out that big of a sigh, then you should probably just pass on the game. And
I agree.
You go looking for sack props.
I agree. I agree. Fair.
No, I do agree that, at a certain point when you have offensive line injuries, it just doesn't make your offense as functional. Certainly the downfield passing attack becomes extremely difficult because you're just not protecting for long enough. Connor makes a great point about pounding the rock here. I bet Arizona -1 because I'm of the belief that you have to have at least some threshold of a functional offensive line. But the more I've thought about it all week, I think I would have been better served just watching the first couple drives and seeing if they're moving the ball on the ground and maybe live betting this, because it is the stoppable force versus the movable object with the Arizona defensive line. If there was ever a time where a mismatched offensive line could have success, you would think it would be against Arizona's defensive line more than anything. So this is a total question mark for me. I bet Arizona basically -1 on my philosophy. I do think at this point, the wiser thing is just to watch the first couple drives and see what your eyes are telling you.
I think this ends up as a contest play for me, and probably maybe not an actual bet, but when injury reports come out a little bit later today, if it breaks bad, I mean, they had a corner, by the way, the Rams had a corner pop up yesterday as well on the injury report that just came out of nowhere. Like, it just,
they already had a corner on IR too. So that'd be a second corner. And we already know 3 offensive linemen are now out. That's definite. Yeah. And then there's 2 more you have to monitor. It might be 5.
It's just the wildest thing through week 1, basically, that you could ever imagine. Guys, had a pretty good week 1. So hopefully we can continue on here in week number 2. Connor, do appreciate you being here as well. Of course, check out their great work over at 4for4. Awesome stuff over there, not just from a betting standpoint, from fantasy standpoint, DFS standpoint. Be sure and take in all of their great work. We do everything free here, so please hit that subscribe button. We'll be here all season for you. And if you head to lines.com, upper right-hand corner is the Discord, and that is also free, where you can go in and chit-chat about things all season long in all of the sporting betting markets out there. For Connor, for Steven, I'm Matt. Good luck on all your week 2 bets.